I'd like to call the meeting of the Dutchess County LDC Local Development Corporation to order. Jasmine, could you please take a roll call?
Jim Dean,
Here.
Mark Doyle,
Yeah.
Kathy Bauer, here, Amy Bonadiri, Jamie Pacone,
Here.
Don Sagliano,
Here.
Al Torrigiani.
Okay, do we have quorum?
Yes.
All right. Conflict of interest disclosure. Once again, if anybody has a conflict with anything that's going to be coming before us today, if they could let us know now, I would appreciate it. I see Mark. Did you? Okay. If you don't have one now, but you become aware of one during the meeting, please let us know. Sarah, proof of meeting notice was filed?
Yes.
Okay, any bills and communications?
No bills.
Okay, we have some minutes from the January 12th meeting that are immediately behind this agenda. Does anybody have any changes or corrections to the minutes that are needed? Okay, so based on that, I'd like to get a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mark, thank you. Can I get a second?
Second,
Thank you, Kathy. Jasmine, would you just take a quick roll call vote on the minutes approval?
Mark Doyle,
Approved.
Kathy Bauer. Approved. Jamie Pacone,
Approved.
Don Sagliano,
Approved.
Jim Dean.
Approved. Okay, report of the treasurer.
Yes.
Okay, Jane.
The financials are for January, since December 2021 is still under audit. The cash is 2.7 million. The large receivable is for the county, 91,000, and the county, the ARP program, 81,000. There's accounts payable of 12,500, 700 for audit. The P&L, we have revenue of $3,000, expenses of $95,000, with a net loss of $92,000 for January, to a budget of $7,000 for the year. A net income.
I'm assuming there's some timing issues there.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody have any questions about the financial summary? Okay, we don't need to vote on that. It was just a presentation. Reports of committees.
None at this time?
Okay, any unfinished business?
No.
All right, new business. All right, first thing is consideration and approval of a resolution authorizing the CEO to enter into an agreement with the Women's Enterprise Development Center for professional services. Sarah, do you want to
Yes,
talk
so,
about that?
yes, so we have a contract, an annual contract with the Women's Enterprise Development Center. It is basically a pass-through. We act as a pass-through for the county. The Women's Enterprise Development Center provides entrepreneur services, primarily assisting our businesses with filing a WMBE, Minority Business Women's Enterprise Certification, as well as offering course seminars and certification programs to our small businesses, such as the Entrepreneur 60-Hour program, as well as seminars relating to from like marketing all the way to licenses and legal issues.
Okay, and the value of that contract?
So the value of that contract is $35,568.96. $15,000 is in cash as part of the county funds to us. We pay that forward to WETC, and the rest is in kind, allowing them to reside in our space. Okay.
Don,
Chairman?
Yes.
Don Sagliano. So, Sarah, when you speak to the in-kind portion, is that just the estimate of an annual amount? I do see there's a schedule that shows what they are. It's not itemized within the contract. In addition to that, what do we record on the budget for 2022 for this partnership? Do we record the $15,000 in expenditures, or is there a higher amount included?
So we record the $15,000 in our budget. The space, while we say in kind, we are reimbursed by the county for that space. And the space is calculated. We have a calculation that has been approved by the county on how reimbursement is done by space. It's done by square footage that they occupy
Okay.
as a portion of our rent.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, would somebody be willing to make a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Jamie. Could I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kathy Bauer. Okay, Jasmine, would you please take the vote?
Mark Doyle,
Approved.
Kathy Bauer,
Approved.
Jamie Picon,
Approved.
Don Sagliano,
Approved.
Tim Dean.
Approved. Okay, consideration approval for professional marketing services. Sarah, would you like to talk about that?
Yes, so to follow best practices, it is recommended that certain services, professional services, go out to RFP every 3 years. We do that for our auditing services, and then it is also recommended for our marketing services. So we went out to RFP, we released it through the state's RFP system, Empire, and we received 4 responses back, which in your packet, you'll see a table that kind of compares the responses to what was required in the RFP. The responses were then reviewed by the EDAC, which is the Economic Development Advisor Committee of the county, Marketing Committee, which is chaired by Brian Powers, reviewed the RFPs, and the recommendation of that committee is to continue the marketing services relationship with DCI. So I have Brian here to kind of outline the process that the committee took in reviewing Don?
Sorry, Sarah, in your memorandum dated February 7th, it refers to the governance committee members. Who serves on that committee? Are there board members on that committee? Are there local volunteers? And how are those people selected for that committee, if so?
So the governance committee is actually the board as a whole. So you are on the governance committee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And so this is our governance process.
This is the governance process as we're
Okay.
speaking.
All right.
So I have Brian, if you want to talk about the process of reviewing the RFP and how the committee concluded on recommending DCI.
Sure. Thanks, Sarah. So the committee's comprised, just to answer Don's question, of volunteers, local marketing folks that are involved with businesses in the community, work for businesses in the community, larger and small. We've added a few recently. We can get you a list of all those members for your reference.
I know it's probably pretty extensive.
Yeah, I mean, it's because it ebbs and flows. I mean,
Sure.
with folks, of course, volunteering, but we, at Sarah's request, we took a look at, all of the proposals submitted. Her office did a great job of leveling them out and giving us a breakdown. And we, kind of looked at the work that DCI's done in the past, which, for the most part, I've been very happy with, as we discussed in the previous meeting. And then compared it against, the proposals that came in from newer companies. And, I'll be the first to say, hey, love to work with a quote unquote local firm, but compared to DCI's experience with economic development, there really wasn't, we weren't able to compare there. That was one thing that really stood out to us, is that, they really have that experience, and that's shown over the last couple of years through prior engagements. And then, taking a look at the other proposals that were submitted, really wasn't any one that stood out over DCI in that sense, that they would be able to offer, comparable services. And then also we took into effect the fact that there would be a ramp up period, under a new company that would, put us at a slight disadvantage as well. So, taking all of those different items into account, that was really where we landed back on DCI and wanted to make the recommendation that to this board that, they be selected.
So obviously price is not everything in these types of RFPs, but was there a significant difference between pricing?
There,
At the end of that
Yes.
matrix, you'll find pricing.
Oh, I'm sorry, maybe I'm going the wrong way.
correct. Yep. There's a,
Here.
Where is it?
Page 18 or so.
Oh, okay, maybe I just didn't.
correct. Yep.
I think. So you see this-
Okay.
So you'll see, I think,
Oh, I think maybe in the, I'm thinking in the
Is that it,
board,
that one?
yeah, there you go.
Okay, it's a couple pages.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, we're just trying to find
we
this
found it.
page.
Okay,
Here we
we're
go.
out of order.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
in our packet, it was out of order.
Yes.
Okay,
There it is.
all right.
there is a spectrum of pricing. I think that is, something that comes from putting it out on a statewide
Yeah,
bid site, from my experience. But, you can see DCI was kind of right in line with company A.
yeah.
And then, company C didn't really check a lot of the boxes and left some questions as well, question marks. You'll see as you go up that chart that Sarah and Rachel put together.
Yeah. Okay, no, it seems that they are competitive.
Correct. Yep. There wasn't that obviously, and thank you for asking that. That was another, piece that came into the conversation and during selection.
Does anybody on the board have any questions about the process or the recommendation? Mark?
I guess my question is, I know, and we've had this discussion about how this all works over the years, and I know it's changed, but Sarah, Kat, are the lines of responsibility clear, and you find that it's everybody understands, yourselves on your side versus DCI, who does what, and
Yeah, no, I think the as our relationship has matured and as we have really worked together, we have this working relationship where it's very clear the work that we do, and we also often, every year around this time, we all get together and we strategize on what we're going to do and work on the year, and then we also assign who is going to be overseeing that work and who supports that work and such. So it's a really great working relationship with not a lot of overlapping. It's a lot of communication. We almost see them as we see them as an extension of our team.
yeah.
So.
And being able to have Kat and her team present at, our committee meetings, to be able to get kind of feedback from the marketing committee is a key component. We've actually kind of discussed how we're going to make that work even better, moving forward, almost to allow the committee to act as another layer of accountability, and to see that things are going as expected. And I will tell you this, from the experience I've had over the last couple of years with DCI and chairing the committee, the ability to pivot. Nothing is set in stone, and a good example is the ambassador program. We saw that one thing wasn't working, and we were able to pivot and make something else work for that. So it's not staying stagnant, and being able. I think that's key to continuing this relationship with DCI, is to identify anything that may be getting stale and how we can reimagine that and make it work for the progress that we're making moving forward.
Okay.
Another thing I just want to add is, Tim, you mentioned it at the other meeting, is those outcomes that DCI has presented in the past, those are outcomes that we've used for the past 6 years. The marketing committee, as part of this review, will be sitting at the next meeting with DCI to come up with new and more strategic outcomes as they relate to the work moving forward. Again, talent is a big thing that we'll be working on, so we'll be looking at talent metrics and things like that. So, and then also, as Brian said, creating a tighter working relationship between the committee and DCI too, moving forward.
Okay, any questions? All right, I would entertain a motion for approval for professional marketing services as outlined.
Happy to make that motion.
Thank you, Mark. Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Kathy. All right, Jasmine, could you take a vote on that?
Mark Doyle,
Approved.
Kathy Bauer. Approved. Jamie Picone,
Approved.
Don Sagliano,
Approved.
Approved. All right, consideration and approval for reimbursement. Oh, I'm sorry. I should say thank you, Kat, for your for DCI services to date, and we look forward to continue working with you for the future.
Thank you so much, and thank you for letting me be here today. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you, Brian, for your committee's work as well. All right, consideration approval for reimbursement for fourth quarter. Sarah, do you want to?
Yeah, so as part of our county contract, the county requires the board to approve our reimbursement submission. So in front of you and included in the packet is our fourth quarter submission for the balance of the remaining 90,000 that is in our contract.
Any questions, discussion? Okay, could I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Kathy. Second? Could I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, Jasmine, if you could take a vote on that.
Mark Doyle,
Approved.
Kathy Bauer. Approved. Jamie Picone,
Approved.
Don Sagliano,
Approved.
Approved. Okay, consideration and approval for fourth quarter ARPA. What does that stand for?
It's the American Rescue Plan. It is those additional county funds that the county received from the federal government, and the county is approved for us to provide services as they relate to economic development. This is our fourth quarter request for those funds. They're on a different calendar because this is a 2-year program versus our county contract is a 1-year program.
Where is this?
And this is right after that packet.
Okay, we're good.
There it is.
There you go.
Okay.
See it.
All right.
The last page.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments about this particular resolution? Okay, I'll look for a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Kathy. Could I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jamie. Jasmine, could you take a vote on this motion?
Mark Doyle,
Approved.
Kathy Bauer. Approved. Jamie Picone,
Approved.
Don Sagliano,
Approved.
Dean.
Approved. Okay, the next item on the agenda is a proposed executive session. And one of the reasons that we are allowed to call an executive session is for the medical financial credit or employment discussion of the medical financial credit or employment history of a particular person or corporation or matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation. So I believe that this is a reason, and I guess we would need a motion to go into executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mark. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Jasmine, could you just take a vote to go into executive session?
Mark Doyle,
Approved.
Kathy Bauer. Approved. Jamie Picone,
Approved.
Don Sagliano,
Approved.
Tim Dean.
Approved. Okay, so,
Rachel, if you can put all the non-board members into the waiting room. And let me know when that happens. Then Jane and Jasmine, you can leave.
Can the recording be stopped, please?
Yes, and then the recording be paused. So
okay. All right, so we are back into our regular session. And what I would like to ask for at this time is a motion to approve the CFO salary, the 2022 CFO salary at $85,000. Could I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Could I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mark. So Jamie made the motion, Mark seconded it. Jasmine, could you take a vote?
Mark Doyle,
Approved.
Kathy Bauer,
Approved.
Jamie Pacone,
Approved.
Don Sagliano,
Approved.
Jim Dean.
Approved. There is an agenda item that says consideration and approval of 2022 salary for CEO, and we are going to hold that because we are still working on it, and that we expect that we will address that at our next meeting. Is there anything else that we need to discuss? Okay, I thank everybody for their patience. It was a long meeting. We had a lot to accomplish, and I'm going to adjourn the meeting at this time. Thank you.
That's it.